really upset.
The argument, contend with the logical conclusion of your own worldview, right? And just lay out the fundamentals of it, and it's just impossible for them to really wrap their heads around. I raised my hand because I had made a quick little Photoshop edit of Zoran, Ma'am Dammer Scammer, and Mehdi Hassan for you, General. I sent it to your DM. So,
all right, perfect. I'll pump it out today.
Right on. Thanks. And yeah, it's my first edit. So, you know, if it's if it's not up to par, you know, it's all good. But
you should have some watermarks, trademark your stuff, man.
This one, you know, this one, it's just simple.
When we pump stuff out there, everybody rips it off. And we made this post up here, and the jumbo go viral. We pumped it everywhere, and then everybody ripped it. You know, so that's just the way it goes. So that's why you want to watermark all your work.
Yeah, I can watermark it if you want. I don't really care if anyone takes this one.
Well, everyone knows it's yours now, anyways. But I'll pump it out right now.
Right on. Yeah, if it's something that you want to, you can take a look at it. It's all right. It's my first one, but yeah, I mean, now that I've got this Adobe Creative Cloud, I'm gonna become the frickin' ethnic American menace. I mean, I'm just gonna go ballistic.
He's gonna replace Trip Quarter memes, bro.
Don't know if getting any traction. I mean, he's just making AI and, you know, simple edits. I'm gonna put a lot of time and work into this stuff, make some Zoomer
But
edits.
that's what I'm saying, dude. You will dethrone Trip Quarter memes. I'm still shocked that I heard the smoke alarm in his background. That chirp.
Oh,
was so
dude.
funny.
That was rough. That was so rough. I wish it was a recorded space.
I do too. It was so awesome.
But yeah, Doomer Nat, bro. Oh my goodness.
Well, and that's the, yeah, that's the
hang on, just a second. I'm gonna throw this up here and ask everybody to like and share it out. This is Harrison, our Zoomer guy here, putting out his first meme. We're gonna blast it out there for him. So if you guys can like it, comment, share it out there, get as much reach on it as possible, that'd be appreciated to give Harrison some support for all his hard work. Let's get him started here. Let's get these young guys in the game. It's up in the Jumbotron. Yeah, go ahead, Rush.
looks great, Harrison. I would have bolded the bottom. That's getting there. It looks really good, buddy. And that's what it's about is putting that information out there. And AI can't do this, really. You know, it can't take real pictures and create a good meme like this. So, and I think people are more receptive to a traditional, you know, someone spent time on it meme versus someone just putting a code into AI. So yeah, that's awesome, Harrison.
My approach with the font, at least with this, and you know, maybe it was the wrong choice, but it was to get people to kind of squint their eyes and read it on purpose, was because if you see a lot of big bold letters, I mean, it's just that's what I see all the time. I wanted to look at it and read it and be like, oh, you know, there's a deeper. But that was my idea. It's my first one, so. But I'll tell you what, though, I'm going to be taking these Creative Cloud courses, so I'm going to become really good at it. I'm going to use Premiere Pro to make video edits. It's going to be really good. So thank you, General. I really appreciate it.
Get off your ass and go comment under there so I can make sure your comment is top comment and everyone knows.
Right on.
Yeah, and
I'll do that right now.
Those little hidden nuggets in there and stuff, you hide stuff. You can hide like ethnicamerican.org in it. People like that stuff too.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, these guys aren't Americans, and great examples of that. Mandani eats with his hands when there's forks all around them. It's just I don't understand why they specifically want to take control of our country and our civilization, but not adopt any of our civilization trees. It's because they want to replace us. This isn't about coming to our country and having a better life like they've brainwashed us with for years. It's about coming and taking over and controlling. And the Mandamis and the guy that's gone to war with General what's that guy's Marathi? They need to continue to be called out. But yeah, John, please. Good morning, buddy. Good to see you jump in there.
Hey, good to see you too. I just had a question for you guys. So the whole idea behind the Constitution of the Founding Fathers was to not concentrate power into one guy, like an emperor or a king or a dictator, but to sort of distribute power through the three branches of government, have checks and balances, and promote self-governance with the people, and distribute as much power to the people. So that's kind of like the philosophy and the model with the Constitution. And then the National Socialist model is basically you sacrifice your rights as an individual and your liberty, and you assign power collectively to a Führer who's a dictator. And the idea is this: that you give this guy all this power, and then he kind of acts as a strong man, and hopefully he gets all the right things done. So my question is this: I'm assuming most of these Natsoks have been National Socialists for 5-10 years, maybe even more in some cases. So in that time, I'm assuming they've identified who they want their Führer to be, like who's going to be the guy, because the whole point of that system is it's the guy, right? You're going to put all the power with this guy, and he's going to do the job. So who is their guy? Who's the Führer that they want to see? Like who's the guy they've identified that's their leader that they want to be led by? Who is it?
Well, I think HT said he was the leader.
Oh my God.
That's a really good question, John. That's hilarious.
I think all their little micro groups are fighting for that spot right now.
The leader of what, though? I missed that part.
The Natsoks. He said Natsoks requires having a Führer, the leader, amongst them, and he's curious, since they're working this out, who's the leader? But Ref's throwing some thumbs down there. You might have another opinion on National Socialism.
I mean, Rush, the whole point of the model is it's all based on your guy, right? On the leader, the Führer. That's the whole point of that model. So if you don't have a guy in mind, then you don't really have anything. So they must have a guy, surely, right? That they talk about all the time, and they want to have as the leader, right?
Yeah, maybe they. What are your thoughts? You're throwing some hands there.
Okay. I'll just short to the point. It's not based on a guy that is a dictator, a Führer. National Socialism is an ideology that most people that are patriots, that are nationals, that are that are national patriots are already National Socialists. The United States arguably is already socialist. It's got the wrong fucking people running it, and that's the problem. Now, National Socialism is not requiring. National Socialism, at its core, is nothing more than putting the people as the most important over corporations and everybody else. If a leader arises from that, it is not a global leader. It is somebody that is within their people, their folk, their nation. That is what National Socialism is.
Yeah, and in nation nations that already are socialist and can push national, like Portugal, and a small, tiny nation, I think it's possible. But a place like America, I just don't think it'll ever work. And at the same time, we don't need it. We have a great system of governance that lasted for a long time. I think that we're a democracy when we're not. But I apologize. Was it Toby or Leroy next? You guys.
Leroy,
Thanks, Leroy.
I'm in the James.
Okay, Toby. Yeah, Toby and Overwatch. Like day, but Leroy, please jump in there, buddy.
Morning. Yeah, so just wanted to chime in and bust Harrison's balls. You spent all that time this morning making that. I thought you were about to come out with something sick, dude. Come on, Harrison. I was expecting them holding each other's dicks or something crazy. Like, come on.
Damn.
All right.
All right, Leroy, it's too early for that. You're coming in hot already.
I'm just having fun, dude. Just fucking around.
We've got kids.
Yeah, come on, Leroy.
So just
There's kids.
My apologies.
Yeah, at least the idea was it was supposed to be like simple, you know, just a simple statement, right? You don't have to make it super complicated.
I like the flag touch.
Yeah, the flag. Well, and when you see Zoran, I picked specifically that photo of Zoran Mamdani because in the background, I had to search for that very specific photo. That's from his most recent rally, and you can see there's three different colored towel heads in the back. So, you know, when people see that and they see Mehdi and they see the fact that
You know what you do?
Mehdi just
that Costco's going to sponsor them because of the towels.
well, and when people see the fact that Mehdi just came out in support of Zoran Mamdani and they see this, they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. These people have no say, right? It's a simple message. These people shouldn't have any say in anything American as they do right now because they're not American.
They're interlopers.
They are. They're parasites, especially Mamdani. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw some of that rally where that photo is from, but it was the Queen's rally and got Bernie Sanders out there, got AOC out there. But the guy put the freaking towel heads right in the back. I mean, right there. It's just so blatant. You would think, my goodness, if he has any optics at all. But I think he did that on purpose. It's ridiculous, though.
Yeah, that actually is optics, Harrison, if you think about it. Because Mandami is a Paki Muslim Indian. And the Sikhs specifically hate the Muslim Indians. So by him sitting those Sikhs behind him, it's a bow down to his Indian people to say that I'm with you. And that was complete optics by having those Sikhs behind him, because it's basically him saying I'm India first before anything else. It's pretty crazy, but yeah, I think it's great, Harrison. I myself have made really bad memes, so this one's great compared to what I'm putting.
Yeah, for my first one, you know, cut me a little slack,
American
y'all.
is absolutely
But
a
I'll
race.
tell you what, though,
I had to
Rush.
bust your balls, man.
I'll tell you what, though, man. I'm excited because now that I've got this, I've had it
All
for
the
about a
proof is
week, and
at
I've been playing it around with it. But
ethnicamerican.org.
I'm about to go ham. I'm about to learn this entire thing in and out, so that way I can just pump out. I mean, these Gen Z edits, that's what I want to make. I want to make a lot of these like hype edits, deportation edits. You know, maybe I can send some stuff to some of the people at DHS or ICE or whatever, you know. But I don't even mind, you know, as long as it's creating a shift, creating a change, you know, that's all that matters. So
You're still down to edit my video, right?
yeah, if you can get if you can get someone to record you standing up there and calling them out, yeah, absolutely.
I'd be real careful, Leroy, because you never know what kind of sword fight he's going to try to get into.
That's true. Yeah, depends on the video, Leroy. He was telling me he was going to go. Yeah, he was going to go confront some Jeet that he got arrested.
Speaking of sword fighting, Harrison, I'm going to need one of Modi versus the Pope sword fighting.
Yeah, I ended up get this guy arrested, or at least a ticket. I don't think he was arrested. And the cop was like, "Are you gonna show up to court?" And I said, "Goddamn right, I'm gonna show up to court. I'm gonna go on the stand and talk about what an ethnic American is and how this guy didn't know the rules of the land. And it's gonna be fucking great. And I'm gonna have someone record it." The cop asked me, he's like, "You're gonna show up?" I said, "Fuck yeah, I'm showing up." So if this guy fights it, which is a good chance because they slapped him with a lot of tickets. He had the whole getup on. He had a dot on his head. He was driving a Prius. Tried to cut me off twice. And honestly, I don't usually care about shit like that. But I was like, you know what? Fuck this guy. So I followed him. Got the cops to pull him over. Honked at him. Left. I talked with the cops a little while. They slapped him with a bunch of tickets. And the guy could barely speak English. I can't wait to go to the stand, dude. If the guy fights it, which I would assume he would, I doubt he'll just pay it. That's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk what an ethnic American is and how this guy just put all of our lives in danger. And yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's that time. People need to start pushing back and start educating people and getting it out there to the point where they can't deny it anymore. And this really started with one of these posts. These are not Americans. I posted it out, and Ben Shapiro freaked out, and he just chimped out. Joel Berry was in the space that day, and he took it over to Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro blasted it out. Our team went to war against Ben Shapiro, and he got so much pushback, and he got blasted so hard that he was like, all right, there's no denying this anymore. Like this is changing the course of America right now. And so now we're talking about what is an American. And we're winning. And we have the documents and we have our history. And that's why it's important to know your history. It's important to know what it means and what it is to be an American and who can't be American. And the further you start to understand this, and the more connected to your identity you are as an American, the more we're going to win. And it's a really easy concept, guys. There's nothing like crazy or extreme or hateful about it. It's just, well, what's the definition of an ethnicity? People of the same language, race, culture, heritage, lineage. And then you look at the founding fathers and what did they say it was? And here's the documents for it. And we have our own ethnic identity. We are ethnically American, just like every other country in the world has their own ethnicity. Here it is, in writing, in the founding documents. There you go. It's really simple. There's nothing like crazy about it. There's nothing edgy or crazy or, anyone that wants to blast that position and try to demonize the founding fathers and who we are, their only interest is to genocide you and steal your inheritance. That's it. Because we don't deny anyone else's ethnicity. The blacks have their own national anthem. They have their own culture. They have their own, they're their own people. We support that 100%. Yeah, blacks are black. That's their nation. They have their own national anthem. Great. We support them. Signs the executive order making Jews their own race, their own ethnicity. Great. We support them. We support Jews having their own race and ethnic identity. Great. Yeah, we support all these people. No problem. You'd be crazy not to support them. But then when we state, well, this is ours and here's the proof and here's all the documentation, they freak out. They lose their mind. And it's like, okay, well, you you really hate us then, because we support you guys. We support all your ethnic identities, your own nations. But when it comes to us, you just want to deny it. You want to genocide us, and you want to steal our inheritance. Thanks for letting us know. You know, that's it. It's that simple. There's nothing hateful about it. There's nothing extreme about it. It's literally just what is an American. Very basic. It's extremely basic. But Overwatch, go ahead, jump in there.
Yeah, I was going to ask your take, General and Rush, on this. These companies, all these big companies, the last day or so, announcing all these layoffs, and they're making all manner of excuses. You know, UPS is blaming the slowdown at Amazon. Amazon's blaming something else, but simultaneously, they're keeping all these H-1B hiring requests open. So, you know, we need to push back on that because it's just BS. They're just doing replacement again. And, you know, those excuses may or may not be true to some degree, but then why aren't they closing out their H-1B, you know, hiring? Why do they still have all those open? It's BS.
Well, because they want to keep these people here. They're all trying to figure out a way to game the system so that they can have, you know, their biggest profits yet. And I do think that they're worried. They're all scared because Trump is gearing up to run real mass deportations. And they know that this is their last shot to make as much money as possible during this holiday season. And after that, it's not going to be like it was before. So they're just doing whatever they can in order to roll things down before the end of the year. And then starting the new year, everything's going to change for them. They're just trying to make their last buck before Trump goes all in.
Well, that's what's so curious to me is seeing Amazon and UPS downsize right before the holiday rush. I mean, the next 90 days, they do more business than the entire 9 months before that. So this is an odd time for them to be doing these mass layoffs. Amazon said it was mostly executive staff, and they just hired 10,000 H-1Bs. So they replaced that 30,000 indigenous workforce with the 10,000 H-1Bs. That's exactly what that is. But the UPS thing is confusing me. I haven't seen their H-1B pickup, but it's weird that they're downsizing at this time. So it does seem like it's all like middle management.
A lot of people stopped using some of these companies because of their allegiance to all these foreigners. So we'll see what direction they're going in and how they're going to do this. It will be quite interesting if they're like, who are they really firing? Are they firing Bonquifas that were all hired in based on DEI? Because you know ESG scores, Rush. You know how they implemented them. And now if they're not getting the benefits of ESG scores, they're not going to keep these people. They're going to dump them all, right? Like, why would you keep these retards? Like, you had a benefit through ESG, but now if the benefit's going away, then you're not going to keep retards. You're going to dump them all and then try to hire really actual qualified people. So this could be a move from the administration going at these guys saying, look, people are pissed. Americans are pissed. You hired a bunch of DEI. You pushed all the Americans out. You only hired 6% white Americans since 2020, 2021. You know, they're pissed. And you screwed everybody. And now they're ready for war. And they're looking at you. So, you know, that could be the angle as well. But I do think that Trump is pushing these guys. I mean, Trump grabbed a hold of Bill Gates by the nutsack so hard that Bill Gates came out and said climate change isn't a threat to humanity. You know, like Bill Gates is squealing like a pig right now. He's scared. And now he's like, okay, climate change was a hoax. It's not a threat. Don't worry, guys. We're good. And that's because of Trump. Trump put him on blast and told him, look, if you guys don't change your ways and you don't turn around and stop this BS, we're going to unleash Americans on your ass. We're going to unleash the hillbillies and see how long you last when the rednecks show up strapped. That we're not going to protect you. And that's a big motivator after they saw the United Healthcare CEO get whacked right downtown New York, and everyone cheered for the guy who killed him, the assassin. So yeah, they're in trouble. You know, people are pissed. They're not gonna keep going in that direction. I think this is the big course correct. I think Trump is probably going to run mass deportations after the holiday season, and he's forcing these corporations to hire Americans and get rid of all the DEI BS. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, some big changes happening in the future. But I threw General's post up there that Ben Shapiro retweeted, and this is really when that discussion of what is American happened, and that to me, and right after this, you know, we General kind of developed the Ethnic American Project and all those things. So I mean, it really has been an evolution over the past 9 months. After this post, where Ben Shapiro tried to go to war with you, General.
Is Overwatch or Toby? You guys available? We're full on the panel, and more people are requesting. We need another co-host so we can bring more people up.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Perfect. Well, Miss Comply, thank you so much for waiting. Good morning. Good to see you, Miss Daisy. Jump in there.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I put, when we were over on that other space, I had actually put an article in there about the robots that are replacing the employees. And from what I saw, it looked like white people, because but now they could be doing AI to, you know, how they use AI to make everything look real, when it's hard for me to distinguish between the two. But it did show white people, and there was a woman crying her eyes out, and the men were trying to comfort her. But it said 30,000, I believe, employees would be laid off. So if that picture is true, it didn't look to me like the upper echelons of the company, if you know what I mean. It looks more like the workers. But anyhow, I'm not going to say it is, because, you know, AI is out there, so it's hard to believe half what you see. But I'm going to look for that article again, and if I find it, I'll put it down in the purple pill.
Yeah, what Amazon is saying is that they're like executive level workers, and man, did they hire a lot. I've worked with Amazon before. They have a program manager for everything, and that really does get heavy really quick when you're paying those persons 6-figure salaries. So and all their production facilities are all built now for the most part. I mean, they maybe have 1 or 2 distribution centers going in across the country. I mean, that mass buildup is done. So maybe this is just a downsize from their mass buildup. What's worrisome to me is that you have Amazon, you have UPS, I believe it was Microsoft. There's a few other companies that are laying off in the tens of thousands right before holiday season. And that does, like General said, it does signal that they see something, either an economic downturn or I've actually heard rumors that Trump is enforcing businesses and warning businesses that he's going to start, combing the books and seeing if they have any illegals in their books and start fining them. You know, the thing that we've been saying in this space for over a year, go after the businesses, fine them for the laws that are already on the books. It does seem like Trump's finally going to possibly do that. So that'll be pretty optimistic.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Trump came in heavy, and all the guys cried to him, and he said, "Okay, fine, we'll give you until the end of the year, and you guys got to figure stuff out. We're not going to target you guys. We'll let you guys run a little bit longer so you guys can make your money, do what you need to do, figure your stuff out. But come the first of the year, you guys are going to get railed on hard." So, and this is why you got to push back so hard on Trump with mass deportations. People are getting pissed because he's allowing these big corporations to screw us over left, right, and center and steal all of our inheritance. It's time to get them to pay the price. And in fact, I think it's really important that we start to state that these big corporations are the ones who should be paying for the mass deportations. I think Amazon, Walmart, whoever, they're the ones who human traffic these people here to hire them for cheap labor. They should be the ones who are paying for the mass deportations. They should be the ones putting the bill, not us. We already paid all this bullshit so these guys could have cheap labor. We paid for their food stamps. We paid for their health care. We paid for all their welfare programs. We're the ones that paid for it so that these companies could have cheap labor and push our own mom and pop shops out of business. These big corporations are the ones that should be paying for all these mass deportations. Yeah, Toby, go ahead. You don't have your hand up.
Yeah, well, I mean, with that, within 100 miles of my city, you have DHL, FedEx, UPS, and they all have their airports in, let's see, Louisville, Indianapolis, Wilmington, Ohio, and Cincinnati, Ohio. That is an army, a fleet of cargo planes. So, yeah, they can afford to chain them up and ship them back on their own dime, on their own planes.
Please like the stream.
No, sorry, I was off mic there, guys. But they have the capabilities. I mean, we should force them to help us with the remigration process. Because a lot of these people that were flown in here from Nicaragua, El Salvador, Haiti, flown all to the interior of our country by the Biden administration, they all had they all have ties to Amazon and other large distributors like that. So those people should be responsible for it. And in some news, it looks like that stabbing in the UK that happened earlier today, I guess, while we were sleeping, is going to be a huge news. Where a 22-year-old Afghan stabbed and killed a British man, and then stabbed and injured 2 more people. The British people do seem pretty frustrated by this. So hopefully they can get some momentum behind them. And Elon Musk is saying that it's going to lead to civil war. Hopefully it does, because they need something to save them. And I don't know if it's going to be us. Unfortunately, we got a while to go, and we got to save Canada first. No, but
good morning.
Good morning, Ivy. Please jump in there, and then we'll go to Lena, Stuart, and Deborah.
I was talking about that yesterday. That was day before yesterday, and it was filming. So, guy just walking his dog, and you have that Afghani just stabbing to death white man, and one teenager. He's fine, but this other guy, we will see what will happen. And today they have protests in that part of London. London is only 38% of white people. It's run by Muslim Pakistani Khan mayor. This is a picture of New York next year, and they have big protests, and they need civil war because it's overrun. British is overrun, especially with Pakistani. When I was in Saudi Arabia, what Saudi will tell what Pakistani are, they said that they are filthy invader of holy sites. The most Pakistani in Saudi Arabia, they are connected with drugs. They don't like them. Nobody liked that population, and now they're just killing people most in UK, and it's sad. When I was watching that video, it's like make me sick. Just walking your dog and you get killed, and this will be New York because he doesn't believe in jails. He said that's not. They need to see what person did before. All bullshit, and he wants to defund police. I just reading that one of the biggest, she's from Belgium. I mean, some Muslim TikTok girl. She go back to Syria because she
Croatia.
said that she cannot
Ivy is from
put her
Croatia.
children in the schools with all these faggot flags. So you have Mandami, who is Muslim, and all Muslims are against this bullshit and against prostitution, but he wants to legalize prostitution. He's not Muslim. He's just invader who wants to destroy the United States. He hates everything that United States presents. Same like a Khan in London, and the biggest financial center is in the hand of Muslim, and now you will have New York in the hand of the Muslim. So this is how they operating, and this needs to stop. So good morning, all.
Yeah, that video is really graphic. Maybe General can throw it up there for us. Everyone can see it. I mean, it's going to wake up a lot of people in the UK, and that guy's dead. He went and stabbed 2 other people, but the man walking his dog was the guy that died.
I threw the video up.
Yeah, I can't post that. I mean, I couldn't even post the half-bone Quifa gorilla without them censoring it. But the Jews are on my ass left, right, and center right now because we've been calling them out. So that every post that I make that has anything like, they just immediately flag it. They're doing their typical censorship, right? Jews love to censor you. They hate your First Amendment because if you have a First Amendment, then they can't exist in your country because people figure out that they're stealing your inheritance and they shouldn't be here because, again, Jews aren't white. According to Donald Trump, he signed the executive order stating that Jews are their own race and ethnicity. So that makes them clearly not American, right? And so they don't want people to know that because if you know that, then they can't keep stealing from you. But now they're pissed because we're calling them out. People are getting down to the brass tacks.
Exactly. I mean, so it's up there now. Everyone can see it. I mean, it's pretty graphic. So we'll watch it. Viewer discretion advised. But Leroy, please jump in there.
That's a Jewish account, by the way.
Yes.
This grade 24 is a Jew account. So I'm sure.
I posted it. I took it.
No, it's good. I mean, you can keep it up there. The Jew account won't get censored, but I will if I post it. So
it's crazy. My account's been under review for the last week. Every day it goes under review again.
Right, because you came in here.
Back to the laying off of Amazon workers with the talk we were doing originally. I think that they're just looking to create the more chaos. I mean, I'm hearing that Walmart and Target are planning on not allowing people to shop in store. Now, I don't know if this is going to be nationwide or just within cities, that you'll have to do pickups because of the stuff that's going to happen. So I think they're just looking to make just a double down on the chaos. They're going to lay off a bunch of people and turn this into not the summer of love. I'm trying to come up with a good name. I don't know. Someone said white boy winter. And honestly, I feel like that's kind of how this will end up going. We'll have to be the ones that save the day potentially with the civil unrest. But I think with the stabbing that's going on in England, I guarantee you, and I think they already talked about it, but they're going to end up trying to solve this issue, right? They're going to try to ban stabby things now because the pointy objects like to stab white men apparently, instead of actually taking care of the issue. So it's to me, it's just mind numbing. Like they do it time and time again over there, and it's kind of the same thought process of what they try to pull here, right? Just because we have the First and Second Amendment, they just haven't gotten to this degree yet. But they just ban everything instead of having people be accountable for their actions. Because once again, they're really pushing no accountability, no self-responsibility. They've really pushed this victim mentality and victim culture, and obviously the people that are pushing this are the ultimate victim culture all through time. So of course they want to teach everybody to be about me, and it's not me that's doing this. It's because that person was so mean.
Well, but Leroy, the reason why they're shutting down is because their own golem are turning against them, right? So like they brought all these illegals into the country for cheap labor. Well, turns out that all these illegals are going to be the ones who are ransacking all their businesses now. So it's backfiring on them. It always does, guys. These guys are low IQ retards. They don't know how to plan. All they know how to do is destroy. They'll just take until it's completely destroyed, and then they'll just up and run. They'll pick up, run away, and then they'll claim, you genocided me, you holocausted me, we ran away. I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, sure, after you destroyed the place, right? So it's the same ultimate victim mentality, crowd in pain as they stab you in the back, right? So, yeah, it's very difficult. That demographic, they always do the same BS. But yeah, it's going to happen to them again. It's happening now. I'll go into that a bit later. I have some stuff I want to talk about on that, which is quite hilarious, and we'll go through step by step about how that's turning on them with their greed, of destruction. But Stuart, you've been waiting a long time. Go ahead, jump in there.
I know you guys were talking about Bill Gates and the climate change and stuff like that. And I wanted to say something about, I know Trump's been talking about clean coal. I don't know if you ever heard that. He's talking about clean coal. And I think the way that coal used to be really bad for a pollutant in that, and I think there's a process of burning it at such a high temperature that there's almost no waste, like almost no pollution that comes out from burning coal. I think he's probably going to be building a bunch of those coal plants in the States, from what I've heard in his speeches. And anyway,
it's the scrubbers. Yeah, it's the scrubbers, and he's going to have a hard time because BlackRock is the one who bought up all the coal mines and shut them down to drive energy costs sky high. So I think that is also why he's got Ken Paxton going against BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard for doing that. They also bought up all of our sawmills and shut them down. And have you ever heard Trump talk about lumber? We don't need your lumber. We have all our own lumber. And, well, guess who bought up all those and shut them down? BlackRock, dude, because they don't want you back.
Who's BlackRock? Is that just a big, huge corporation? Or?
Yeah, you don't know about BlackRock? BlackRock is State Street and Vanguard.
No, I don't know about BlackRock at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, they're basically one entity, and they own pretty much everything in America, and they are a monopoly. And Ken Paxton's going after them as a collective. He's going after BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard as one entity down in Texas, and he's winning. So, he's going after them for energy manipulating the energy markets by buying up all the coal plants and shutting them down. They did the same thing with the lumber to try to prevent people from building new homes. And then BlackRock went into all of our neighborhoods across the country, bought up all the houses for about $250,000, turned around and sold them all to these illegals and foreigners through these loopholes, and had used our tax dollars through NGOs to put the 20% down payment for them and these loopholes to the bank to give them mortgages. And that's why our home prices doubled overnight. They went from, your average home price went from $250,000 to $450,000 in a year because they did this whole scheme, and they've been doing it ever since. And now we have 500,000 more home sellers than buyers, and no one can afford to buy a house because they put the prices so high, and they don't give Americans loans. They don't want to give American loans. They're trying to use all these foreigners to come in. The foreigners are the number one home buyer in the United States right now because of this scheme they have going on to drive up the costs out of control. That's how you get 15-minute cities, right? So, yeah, we covered all this stuff on the show many times. I'll post on that. I keep meaning to post on the real estate markets, but every time I go to post, more stuff comes up, and guys like Toby and the rest of them keep pushing more information to me, and it's like, damn, if I make this post now, I'm gonna add to it. I'll just have to make like a mega thread to explain the whole thing to everybody so they get it. But Slowpoke, you there?
Good morning. Good morning, my fellow ethnic Americans. Rush, General, thanks for the mic. I just wanted to make a point with that stabbing. That's why I don't F with little dogs. I have a King Corso, and there's no way that man would even be able to get that close to me. And, you know, let this be a lesson. You know, a big dog, like a King Corso, Crested Canaria.
Frank.
I don't know.
Yeah, aren't you the guy that was telling people to like shoot home invaders with like a beanbag and all that stuff?
I live in California, okay, and they do make an effective. I haven't tried it on someone, but it does shoot a projectile that has pepper mace inside of it. It's a ball, CO2. You know, it's. I got the other pew-pews. Don't worry. But
we shoot bullets around here.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, no. Then again, there's a country where they're not allowed to own pew-pews. So, you know, but the dog thing is to me a big part of it, because smaller dogs, yeah, you can overtake a smaller dog even if it's aggressive. So you get a 90-pound, 110-pound King Corso, which is one of my favorites. Yeah, they're going to have a hard time with a knife. A gun, okay, that's different. But something like a knife, no way. Just want to bring that up. Thanks.
The sad part is that you need to arm yourself to have a dog to live your life. That's not supposed to be like that.
Especially in America. It's pretty ridiculous. Gets resort to that, Frank. But I mean, over in the UK, that is a good point, Frank. Over in the UK, all the Muslims invaders, all the Haitian invaders, they're all terrified of dogs. So maybe that is a good strategy in the UK. But you responding there, Frank? So everyone, I threw a post up in the Jumbo there. It's Dan Brewer. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly, Dan. He's a musician. He's been a musician for like 20 years. But he recently was woken up about 2 years ago. He's got a few things going over about how he's woken up and those types of things. But since then, he's produced, we got to get the meme out there, the Generation Z memes like Harrison's producing. But the ability of music is extremely strong. And Dan has made a bunch of bangers. But I mean, his one on World War II, epic. His one on, he calls it Culture War. But it really just goes over about how they're basically murdering us, and the way Dan produced that video is extremely epic. He's extremely talented, but obviously the Jews are hiding him in the algorithm, so we're trying to boost him. So if you guys can all follow Dan, if maybe you can take that post up there and like it and share it, I think we're going to see a lot of great things come out of Dan. But he came by this morning. Dan, really good to see you. Jump on in there.
Yeah, hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Can you guys hear me? Oh, sweet. Sorry about that. Yeah, thanks. Well, first of all, Rush, thanks for the opportunity here, and General as well, Toby. But this is much appreciated. A quick note on the dog before I even get to my stuff. It's also a good idea to have a dog for if someone's breaking in. Like, it's the best thing to have in your bedroom, you know? Even if you have a gun, if you're unconscious, like, who cares, you know? Yeah. Basically, for those that aren't familiar, which is most people, I've been out here making music for well over a decade, and just the past few years, ever since I suppose, I was J-pilled, it just kind of realized what's going on in the world. I've been making a lot of dissident music and music videos. But the World War II narrative in 2023. It's funny because I guess sort of everyone flipped out about Kanye when he did that. I'm like, hey, I did that too. A little bit different than he, of course. But yeah, the culture war video speaks about how we shouldn't conflate what's going on with just like quarreled fighting. It's really existential at this point. And then I did a video called Fake World where I just kind of talk about how we're being gaslit about all this stuff and who's really pulling the strings. So, I appreciate the platform. I'm not trying to make this a soapbox here, but if anyone's interested in any of this type of stuff, I play every instrument on my music. I produce it myself. I fund it myself. I direct all the videos. I edit all the videos. So it's pretty organic, and I feel like sometimes you see artists out there kind of taking these half measures, stepping into the shallow end of the pool on political stuff, but I'm just trying to keep it real. So if anyone's interested in someone who's, I guess, sort of willing to go there, feel free to check my stuff out.
Yeah, it's important to support the guy. You guys, and Dan, thanks for coming in. Dan was invited onto the show, and we appreciate the work you're doing. And if everybody could give it a like and share it out there, help this guy, help Dan get some traction. We need more voices of people out there who aren't spurgs and nut jobs and just saying crazy things like edgy stuff just to get attention. This guy has, Dan has really good content. It's clean, it's clear, it's not like these brash guys screaming all kinds of profanity and all that, like just trying to be edgy. He has a really great message, and it's it's clean. These are the kind of people that we want to support, right? Good people, good moral character. That these are the guys that need to start getting more traction, getting boosted up to the top. We don't need all the edgelords out there trying to do all their nonsense, and not a good look. This guy, Dan here, I've seen some of his content now. He's really clean and professional. It's important to have these types of guys with a voice.
Well, sweet. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate the well wishes, and I think not that everything's optics, but it's definitely important to not be like you say, edgelording. I'm not going for that vibe. I think it's sort of ridiculous and immature. So appreciate it. Hopefully I'll be seeing some of you guys around going forward.
Yeah, Dan. So we have a project called the Ethnic American Project, where we educate Americans on what it means to be an American and let me just ask you, Dan, what is an American?
These days, hard to define, but I would say someone of a founding stock of this nation, the people that actually built the country and their descendants, as opposed to sort of new arrivals who came here once it was already created.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent understanding of what an American is, because the issue that we have is that when they ask you what's your ethnicity, they want us to say German, French, British, all these different countries. Well, the problem is the definition of an ethnicity includes language and culture. Well, if you can't speak the language and you don't know the culture, you can't claim that as your ethnicity. For example, the British and the Germans, they're identical in DNA. They're both from the Germanic tribes, and yet they're both considered different ethnic groups because of their language and culture. Now, in America, we also have our own language and culture. American English is distinct from British English. You can go on your device right now and look, and it will ask you, do you want UK English or US English? It's distinct. It's not the same. Very close, but it's our own, right? And our founding fathers were viewed as their own ethnic group. The crown wouldn't give us citizenship because they said, you guys aren't even 100% Anglo. Like, you guys are already like a mix of European. We can't just give you citizenship. We're not going to, because you're not entirely British. So that was from the very founding, from the very start. They viewed us as their own ethnic group of people. And so when people ask us going forward, what's your ethnicity? American. American is our ethnicity. And that's really what our project is mainly towards, in teaching people what it means to be an American. When our founding fathers wrote, "We the people," they meant a very specific group of people. When they wrote, "For ourselves and our posterity" in the Constitution, they meant a very specific group of people. When they signed the Naturalization Act of 1790 and said the only people who can be American or become American are free white people of good moral character, they were very clear and specific on who we the people are, and for ourselves and our posterity. So yeah, it's important to teach people these very basic things about who we are, because they don't teach it in school. They don't teach anybody what it means to be an American or who is an American. They do it deliberately because they're trying to wipe us out. They're trying to steal our inheritance. America is our inheritance. Our forefathers built it and passed it down through generations to us as our inheritance. And it's our responsibility to defend that and not let people steal our identity. It's identity theft. For these big corporations to come out and say, our product is American made, and then they have Juan Cholo from Mexico doing all the work, it's not American made. That's Mexican made. But they're stealing our identity to do that for a profit. And we're not getting any of the benefit. In fact, they're destroying our identity, they're destroying our reputation, they're destroying our country, they're destroying our value, degrading it. So yeah, this is what we kind of focus on with our project, just to give you kind of a rundown of our position.
Yeah. Well, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I honestly co-sign all of that. And I think it's actually really important to go over the specifics and be able to kind of stand on business when people talk about, well, no, this is a melting pot. You can say, well, actually, let's back the camera up further. No, it's not. This is the way the country was laid out and intended to be running. And we have to adhere to that. It has to mean something specific to be an American. It's like if everybody's beautiful, nobody's beautiful kind of thing. It has to mean something as opposed to anything at all. So, yes, definitely agree with all that. And the more we blur the lines, the less solid this place becomes. So I say let's get specific. So I appreciate what you guys are doing.
Yeah, 100%. And I appreciate the work you guys or that you're doing over there. You're doing great work. We need to get more eyeballs on your content. Like I said, everybody should be following Dan. Help like and pump his content out there. We need more solid voices out there for our people, for the Americans. It's important.
And Dan, I put it's to me, and all your songs are great, but that culture war song is extremely powerful, and it is kind of it gets to me. I found myself like humming it later, so it's pretty catchy. But the way you laid it out, showing these events of us being attacked in our civilization, simply because who we are, and then you pick up that event of you like sitting on the street or on the bus, is extremely powerful, man. That video, you can watch it in mute and it's powerful, but hearing the words of your song are also really strong. Do you have any ability to maybe make one? I mean, I feel like an old man asking this. Is there any way to make one with captions? Because I feel like your words are so strong and I'm missing some of your words in that song, but just amazing work, buddy.
Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. But yeah, absolutely. To be honest, I'll go home tonight, get into DaVinci Resolve, and straight up just make a caption version and post it in the comments of the video. So yeah, I can totally do that tonight.
Perfect. Yeah, and maybe you can re-upload it because it's a different video now that has captions. And we got to get you and General linked together to discuss the algorithm. we'll conquer the algorithm.
No, if you have good content, I'll put it out there. I did one. I had the little girl pissed off. I did one of Emma Cock, or out of I think she's from the Netherlands, and I wrote white culture under it, and it went wild. It got like 27 million views, and then they forced her to come out and denounce me and say I don't support any of that. So what I did, I ended up just doubling down, and I posted it again with the same thing. Got 10 more million views for denouncing me, and then a bunch of other people picked it up. And then I went out and I posted it again. I tripled down just to say thank you to her, and I got another 7 million views for her on her content. So that's just the way it goes, because at the end of the day, they want, and she's young. She's like, I don't know, 16. And, they have managers trying to bully her around and tell her what to do and blah, blah, blah. And all we did was get her roughly 100 million views on her song for simply stating, that's your culture. White people have culture. That's it. There's nothing extreme about saying white people have culture. In fact, if you deny somebody's culture, this is the first stage of a genocide. When somebody starts denying your existence, this is the first stage of a genocide. They just came out last week or the week before. Cambridge University said they're going to start teaching that the Celts, Norse, and Anglos never existed. Well, they're getting ready to genocide them. That's what you do before a genocide. You can see it. This is their tactic. They've been saying it in America. And then they start teaching courses at Harvard University called Abolish the White Race, white genocide. And it starts going down that trajectory. And then they start telling you, well, you're on stolen land. This is your land. You're not an American. You're not, and it keeps going further and further down the rabbit hole until you have black people killing you in the streets with impunity. And they can just walk free after stabbing you to death. Or they get community service, or they spend a year or two in jail. That's where it's going. That's how it goes down that line. But it all starts by denying your ethnicity, denying your culture, denying your existence. That's the first step that they move towards in order to eradicate you. So when they had this girl going out there saying, I denounce these guys for saying my music is white culture. Well, she got 100 million views for that. We didn't back off her managers. We kind of gave them a kick in the balls, and now she's famous. So it is what it is. But yeah, if you have good content, it goes wild. And I'll get some guys to start getting it out there.
Yeah, well, I can't thank you guys enough. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. Yeah, as far as managers go, hey, you're talking to them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just straight up one guy out here doing this pretty autonomously. So yeah, promise you don't need any middlemen to deal with on that front. But yeah, that's really encouraging though to hear that other people overseas are doing the same as well. And I just think it's high time. It's high time to get some of us out here representing the culture. I mean, personally, and frankly, this is something that's gone on in the past as well, but I just find so much of the arts to have been totally corrupted and like ruined, especially after COVID. I'm like, the people that I used to root for, consider shelling out like hundreds of dollars to attend a concert of, are now like telling me if I don't get a fifth booster, then I'm like killing grandma. I'm like, I don't endorse these people anymore. So I think it's just important that we have a counterbalance that goes all the way there on a lot of these topics, artistically and musically. And if, say, iHeartRadio or whoever isn't going to platform people like myself, hell, there's X. We'll see what we can do,
Yeah, I put that clip up in the jumbo if you want to see what I'm referencing here. But yeah, that one got 27 million views on it.
Yeah, that's great. I'll for sure check this out. Hey, I hate to say this too, but I'm actually, to be honest, I've been sitting out in the parking lot at work here, supposed to be dipping in a minute myself, so I might have to leave the space, unfortunately, but I will check the rest of the replay later. But I do just want to reiterate my appreciation for all of you guys for the follows and the support and all that. It really does mean a lot to me. And sorry to have sort of taken over the chat here. I didn't mean to make everything else come to a screeching halt, but I do appreciate the platforming and General Rush and Toby. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Right, we really appreciate you coming by, Dan, and this probably won't be the last time we hear from you. And yeah, we got to get a nice clip so General can push out. We're gonna continue to push it, Dan.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. For everyone else, just check out my highlights tab on here. That's basically where all my main stuff is: the World War II video, the Cultural War video, the Fake World video, and the intro. So, yeah, feel free to check it out, or just my website, danbauermusic.com. But yeah, sweet. I don't mean to make it a sales pitch, though. It's about the message. So thank you, guys. All my stuff's free anyway, so I'm not even asking for anything like that. But yeah, hope you all enjoy whatever you manage to check out.
Yeah, exactly, Dan. And we see you're in it for the message. I mean, I've listened to your testimonies, and we know you're in it for the message. We really appreciate you coming by and introducing yourself to our group, and we'll continue to work together. Sounds great, Dan.
Yeah, cool. All right, thank you. Have a great day. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Perfect. And that's what it's about, is us networking together, us pushing great information, because that type of content is what wakes up a lot of people, a lot of normies. They'll listen to that song and then they're like, wait, what are they talking about? And then they see the video. I mean, that stuff can be extremely powerful, and that's how we win. I mean, this is like you says in that culture war video. This is so much more than a culture war, but we have to be a part of the war, and that's what we do in this space. So I think was it Comply next, and then.
Yeah, Comply, Slowpoke, and then Harrison.
Slowpoke. Bless your heart, Frank. They're never going to let you live that one down. I'm sorry, I can't do nothing about it. I can't control these people. They're wild. But, oh God, I put a thing in the Purple Pill about the layoffs at Amazon, and it sounds more, it's more clear about what's going on in this article than the other article. I'll put it that way. So it's down there if you guys want to look at it. That's it. I'm done. Check it out.
You're not going to break it down for us? What did it say? You want us to all read it?
For you to read it, it expands the mind. It expands the mind, and we need brain exercise, to be honest. But yeah, it's not like what it seemed in the other article. It's more, they're not getting rid of AI, that's for sure, but they're getting rid of the DEI people, some of them. I'll say that much. You can just check it out and see.
Perfect. Yeah, that's what the general was saying. That's really awesome to hear. Yeah, jump in there, Slowpoke.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to say that no, it's awesome meeting Dan. The gentleman is well spoken, eloquent, sounds high IQ. Great to have him aboard, another member of the Army, right? And there was another thing I wanted to bring up about, I went on to his page, and of course the one about World War II has the good old, this is censored, may contain harmful content, whatever. Just completely asinine. And this is, again, this slow creep of censorship, which we're all experiencing, have experienced, and will probably keep experiencing, maybe to a greater degree, I'm sure, unfortunately. But, I thought about it the other day, and I realized, genocide is a tenet of Judaism. And I didn't come up with that. I was actually in another space, and of course we were talking all about the tiny hats, and the host actually said that, and it's true. Genocide is a tenet of Judaism. So mind your P's and Q's, boys and girls. Thank you.
And that's the worst part, is they want you to just go down in silence, even though our forefathers fought so that we could have freedom of speech. And these bad actors come in, these demons, these Satanists, they come in and they want to silence you so that they can genocide you out in silence. That's what they do. That's why we have the First Amendment. That's why we have the Second Amendment. So these people can't silence us. It's very important. Once people understand, it's like that letting everyone know about EBT the other day, right? Now everyone knows what the hell's going on with EBT. How many people we're paying for that shouldn't even be on it. Over 56% of people on EBT are foreigners. They shouldn't be on EBT. Our EBT system is for Americans, not for the whole world. And this is how they go about stealing your inheritance. They're stealing your labor. They're stealing your inheritance. They're stealing your country, and they want you to pay for it. So yeah, you're spot on.
Yeah, General, but they're already doing another stages of genocide. It's like prosecution, symbolize, white supremacy, Nazi, fascist. So they are deeper in genocide. And first genocide was done by Jewish King Saul. He was Amalek tribe. And when he went there, he said, we need to kill all of them, king, animals, children, women, everything. And they kill everybody except that king. So yeah, that's in their blood, and they're doing to us slowly, but they are in most of stage of genocide with us.
Yeah, and I was talking to Dan about that. I mean, that's his one video, because all of his content is really great and organic, so it should all trend. This is one video they actually let trend, and he got 500,000 likes on, and that's, or 500,000 views on, and that's the one that he that hasn't been censored. He's very smart the way he produces it, and doesn't have anything that would be flagged in the video. So this is just direct targeting, the same stuff that we experience. That's we're in a battle, and the only way they can win this battle is to silence us, because we have the truth behind what we're saying. But Harrison, yeah, please jump in there, buddy.
I completely agree. That's the only way that they're gonna win, is if they can silence. I don't think it's gonna happen long run. It's reconnecting. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think they're gonna be able to do it in the long run. I just raised my hand really quickly to comment on the fact that Dan Bauer is far more appealing to the normie than someone like Nick Fuentes. And that is incredibly strategic. That's incredibly useful. And when it comes to waking up the masses, when it comes to, asking the question, what is an American? It's much more palatable to hear someone like Dan, right? And there's a place for edginess. There's a place for trolls, even, and memes. But for the average American, they don't want to hear Nick Fuentes say the N-word. They want to hear someone like Dan, talk about something without saying the N-word, right? Or, a bunch of vulgarity or being edgy or inside jokes, Zoomer jokes that no one gets. They want something that appeals to them. And I think that that's really kind of the brilliance behind this entire project, is that it appeals to the average American, whereas something that's more edgy doesn't, right? And that's why no one can escape really that question, what is an American? Well, it's effective, it's simple. So, yeah, at the end of the day, it's far more appealing to have someone like Dan that appeals to the masses rather than, your average MAGA mom. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're trying to get. You're trying to get the MAGA moms, the regular blue-collar dads, that kind of thing. When they hear Nick Fuentes, they hear some spurgy Zoomer, right? Versus they hear someone composed, like the General, say, what is an American? Do Americans have an ethnic identity? And it's those simple yet powerful and effective pieces of rhetoric that is going to win us this war. It's going to win us the ideological war that we need.
We need to stop being apologetic about our genetics and who we are, period. That's just got to stop. It's been beat into us that we need to apologize for all the wars. Well, who have we fought? Majority of the wars were fought against ourselves. So, no, we need to stop being apologetic and shut that shit off. Be proud of our genetics and who we are and the wars we fought, even against ourselves. Because that's who we are. Like the General said, we are the warrior class of human beings. Period. Who's up next? Leroy?
So I just posted something I was interested in. I don't know if anybody else saw it. Up in the Jumbotron, you can take down if you want. But so much thing that someone looking for in San Francisco, I think, in recent days. If this does come to fruition, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to come up with someone to film me. I know this is a big ask, but if anybody's in the Lehigh area, because that's where I'll have to go, if this does go to fruition, I would ask if someone's in that area would be more than willing to come videotape me on the stand talking about what an ethnic American is and how this guy puts people's lives in danger. So yeah, I'm just going to toss that out there because I'm probably, whenever it does happen, it's going to be relatively fast. I'm sure I'll have like a week or two to figure it out. So I thought I would throw it out there now in case there is someone in the area. I know there was I think the one guy was talking about how he was in a hospital up in Lehigh. I'm not trying to like meet up and dox anybody or any of that bullshit. So this is just legit. Like I'm lowering my guard here. So, I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Yep, it's important, guys. We gotta support our own people. And the thing is, if you get up there and say that, it's all recorded on the record.
Fuck yeah, that's what I'm doing.
That's why it's important to go and do these types of things and be able to speak on the record that's recorded and be able to put it out there as to what is an American. They can't deny it anymore. Americans are going to stand up.
That means they accept my definition.
Well, the thing is if you record that, we can pump it out there and get.
Fuck yeah, that's what I want to
everybody.
Do. I need someone to go with me. If it happens. Yeah. If it doesn't happen, then whatever. But I'm going to keep doing this until I get up there. I drive so much and I see this shit all the time, dude. I'm going to start doing it all the time.
Yeah. Well, look, this is how we have to fight back. We have to force it in their face. We have to get it out in front of everybody. They can see it. You know, that's the whole point, is once people see it and recognize that it exists and what's happening, then you can fix the problem. That's what Thomas Jefferson stated, right? If there's tyranny or oppression and you want to squash it, you have to spread your voice far and wide, and as wide as you possibly can. Let as many people as humanly possible know. And I put a post up there. I just made it. And again, check it out. When they tell you who they are, believe them. This is a Jewish woman sitting up there talking about how the Jews are the ones who created the left. They're the ones behind all the problems we have in America with the left. They're the ones that went into the school system and brainwashed all the kids. They're the ones that opened our borders. They're the ones who flooded us with endless amounts of illegals. They're the ones who want us to pay for it. And they're the ones who want to silence you into not being able to speak up against it. Because as soon as you do, they know. As soon as you're allowed to speak up, then the game is over. And this is what's happening with the left now. She's complaining that only 13% of the left supports Israel and Jews now. And she's crying like, we created the left. How can you hate us? We're the ones who created the left. We're the ones that created all the degeneracy in your country. And now you're turning on us? We're your master. You're supposed to bow down to us. We're the ones that do what to think. Well, when people actually see what they've been doing and the hell we're living through and the satanic shit that these people are pushing onto everybody and what they're doing, yeah, people aren't going to support that, even on the left. Even the leftists aren't going to support that. And this is why all the leftists are crying about the Muslims, look at the Muslims are coming in. Well, who's the biggest supporter of Ma'am Dammer? Who's an Indian Muslim in New York? Who is it? It's George Soros. It's the Jews. They're the biggest supporter of Ma'am Dammer in New York. Why? Because they want to destroy America. That's their end goal. But at the same time, they're crying that everyone's turning against them. Like, oh, the left, they're all turning against us. But you should hate the Muslims. But at the same time, we're the biggest backer of the Muslims to take over New York. Like, yeah, this is the problem. You stepped on your own dick and everybody sees it and they're calling you out. And you can't silence anyone anymore. That's why they wanted to buy TikTok. They wanted so desperate, we need TikTok. We're losing control of the narrative. People are actually seeing the truth. People are actually able to communicate. Oh no, we don't have control and power of the brainwash anymore. What are we gonna do? We need to buy TikTok. And what did Trump do? He gave him TikTok. But who did he give it to? He gave it to the Jew ball, Larry Ellison. And who's Larry Ellison's wife? She's a CCP agent. So he takes TikTok from the CCP and turns around and gives it right back into the hands of the Jewish guy who's married to the CCP. It's the same shit with Zuckerberg. He's the Jew ball who's married to a CCP agent. And look at all the censorship you got going on there. So it's hilarious. It's the same old nonsense. What are we going to get? We're going to get CCP propaganda, BS, to hate America on TikTok. What does the left promote? The destruction of America. Down with America. Death to America. That's the left. That's what these people have created, and she's openly admitting it. It's right up there in the jumbo, guys. Everyone should be liking that and sharing that out there. When they tell you who they are, believe them. These people are the ones who created all the problems that we're facing right now in our country. And she's admitting it. She is a Jew sitting up there telling you to your face. This isn't me telling you. This isn't some crazy person who hates Jews telling you. This is a Jew telling you what they've done, who they are. Believe them when they tell you who they are. What are they going to do? Let's see if they flag my post. Let's see. A Jewish lady gets up there and tells everyone who they are and what they've done. It's crazy, but they do it. They'll take credit for all the leftist garbage, propping up Ilhan Omar, this psychotic Muslim invader nutjob, this Rashida Tlaib, this Muslim invader nutjob, this Mamdani, this Muslim invader nutjob. They prop up Mehdi Hassan, this Muslim invader nutjob. But then they tell you, it's the Muslims. Look at the Muslims. Blame the Muslims. What the hell are you talking about? You just admitted that you're the one that brought them all here and put them in power. In the left. You see how that works, guys? We've been telling you forever. They're working together hand in hand. Keith Ellison, who's the AG of Minnesota, wrote a paper with a Jewish lady, and they said, Muslims and Jews must work together to end whiteness. Well, they're telling you who they are. They're telling you what their plan is. They're working together, and the Muslims are saying, it's the Jews. And the Jews are saying, no, it's the Muslims. You have to fight them. No, you have to fight them. No, we got to fight both of you. You're both shitbags trying to destroy our country. How about that? How about the third option? How about you both piss off? Go back to the sandbox where you belong with the sand donkeys. This is it, guys. They're saying it to your face. Believe them when they tell you who they are. They're openly admitting it right to your face. If you deny this, you're retarded. This is a Jewish woman telling you, we created the left. We convinced your children to chop their genitals off. We sent the FBI after Charlie Kirk as a what they label it, the TPUSA as a hate group. The FBI was there when he was assassinated, investigated him because of the ADL. Yeah. They're the ones who sent the FBI after all the mothers who didn't want their children indoctrinated into LGBT faggotry and listed their mothers as terrorists. Literally terrorists. And what did Kashyap, little fucking Chode Patel do? What did little Paddle do? He took that guy who was responsible for that and he made him the head of the DC field office. The man who targeted mothers of small children who didn't want their children indoctrinated into LGBT faggotry and dick chopping, and he labeled them as terrorists and went after them as terrorists. Yeah, that's the left. And Kashyap, Paddle, and Trump are in support of that. They supported this guy. They gave him a promotion. Head of the DC field office. You see how that works? This is the kind of shit, the uniparty that everyone talks about. Who's Trump's biggest donors? The Jews. And now the Jews are sitting here saying they're the ones that created all the problems. And they're trying to get Trump to create more problems. Why do you think Trump doesn't run mass deportations? Well, because the Jews spent trillions of dollars getting these people into our country and flooding our country.
Exactly.
They don't want them to deport all these people. They don't want them to kick everyone out that they spent 100 plus years flooding us with. They don't want that. That'll send them back 80 years if Trump does that. They gave Trump all his money. Why would he kick him out? That's why Trump's having a problem with mass deportations. It's a uniparty. You want to see the uniparty? You want to know who the uniparty is? The lady's telling you. The uniparty is Israel and AIPAC. And that's why AIPAC's scared now. AIPAC's going into hiding. They're trying to give money directly. They want their donors to give money directly to candidates instead of going through AIPAC to try to hide their dirty dealings in the United States. That's why AIPAC is not listed under FARA. It's the only foreign country in the world who has a lobby, a foreign lobby in our country, who isn't registered under a foreign agent. So they can run around and create the uniparty. This is why Steve Bannon is going after him. This is why Matt Gaetz is going after him. This is why Tucker Carlson's going after him. This is why Marjorie Taylor Greene's going after him. This is why Thomas Massey's going after him. Because they're the ones who created the uniparty. They're the ones who are destroying America from within. Our founding fathers stated, if this country is ever to fall, it will fall from within. The greatest threat to a constitutional republic that we have are foreign influences getting inside the gates and destroying it from within. So it's our responsibility to correct that. And that's why they're pissed. That's why you have all the influencers. Marjorie Taylor Greene so bad. Thomas Massey so bad. Why is Trump going after Thomas Massey? Because he called out AIPAC. But then Trump sends all his guys who are very close to him, like Matt Gaetz, Steve Bannon, Tucker Carlson, all the media outlets are going after AIPAC because it's the uniparty, it's the deep state. They're the ones running it. Yeah, and now they're getting exposed. And here she is. And again, if you guys haven't liked, commented, or shared that out, you're slacking. You need to let people know who they are. That is them telling you who they are. But Rush, go ahead, jump in there. Or Toby, one of you guys.
I posted that picture of all the different factions of NGOs that bring people over that are it's all Arab, Indian, and Jew, proving they all work together. It's down in the purple pill. I forget all their names. I work on too much other stuff. But the guy on the left, the Indian guy, he runs the American Immigrant and Migrant Foundation that was started by that Edith lady back in 1916, who worked with sellers to do all that mumbo jumbo crap they pulled on us. But yeah, that if you go into any of the Jew spaces and you throw that up, they get pissed off real quick because they don't want to admit that all these guys in the sandbox work together.
Alright, that's all I'm streaming for today. I appreciate y'all joining me. This is the General that is the host of this group. He's got a pretty decent size account. Well, why can't I freaking click on his there we go. This is the General. He runs this space every morning on X from 6 a.m. to about 9 a.m. I have to get to work, and so I'm going to be shutting down this stream. I really appreciate everybody joining me and joining our team. If you want, you can go on X yourself, and it's you know, you just click on their profile. Whoops. You go to their profile, and if they have this blue thing around them, and they're in a space, you can join it. Otherwise, I don't know, you can follow me. This is, I'm always in there. This is my profile. I got a little account. I'm just part of the team trying to push the message. Again, I really appreciate y'all joining. If y'all could hit the like button, maybe share the stream with one of your friends or family, the fellow ethnic Americans, that'd be great. And I hope y'all have a wonderful day.